Get ready for the biggest news in the league right now. The Boston Celtics have officially emerged as a serious trade suitor for Giannis Antetokounmpo following their shocking first-round loss in the NBA playoffs. Insider Mark Stein says the chatter around a Giannis trade is only expected to intensify this offseason, especially after Jaylen Brown's controversial comments after the Celtics blew a 3-1 series lead to the Philadelphia 76ers. We dive deep into what this means for the future of Boston and what the Celtics front office boss Brad Stevens is planning next.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
But the heartbreak is real. The Celtics blog reflects on the crushing end of the 2025-2026 season, acknowledging that the team that was is gone, and the reality is that the end of the season felt premature and cruel. We explore the narrative surrounding the Celtics' loss, the questions raised about Joe Mazzulla's coaching chops, and the debate over whether major personnel changes are truly warranted. We also look at the fallout from the loss. Former Celtics champion Kendrick Perkins slammed the team's inability to close out the series against the Philadelphia 76ers, pointing directly at the refusal to switch up their style of play. Furthermore, the NBA has fined Jaylen Brown $50,000 for his comments criticizing the game officials during a live stream, sparking a major debate about accountability. And finally, we look at the bigger picture. Former NBA champion Kendrick Perkins absolutely slammed the Boston Celtics for the playoff elimination, criticizing the team for not protecting their home court and demanding accountability from Jaylen Brown. What does this mean for the Celtics moving forward? Stay tuned, because this is the daily roundup of all the breaking Boston Celtics news. The Boston Celtics have become a serious trade suitor for Giannis Antetokounmpo following their disappointing first-round exit in the NBA playoffs. Insider Mark Stein indicated that trade speculation surrounding a Giannis move is set to intensify this offseason, fueled by recent comments from Jaylen Brown after the Celtics failed to hold a 3-1 series lead against the Philadelphia 76ers. Stein noted that storylines involving the potential breakup of Tatum and Brown are likely to resurface. He suggested that there have been underlying discussions suggesting the Celtics could be a stealth Giannis team that might attract his interest, emphasizing that head coach Brad Stevens is known for making significant moves. Stevens' willingness to execute big trades is supported by past actions, including a reported offer to trade Jaylen Brown and Derek White to the Brooklyn Nets for Kevin Durant in 2022. Furthermore, the Celtics possess up to 6 tradable first-round picks this summer, alongside promising young talent such as Hugo Gonzalez, Baylor Scheierman, and Neemias Queta, which could further drive trade interest. Kalshi Sports Data places the Celtics as having the second highest probability rate to execute a Giannis trade this summer, with a 15% chance, trailing only the Knicks at 20%. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown's comments have also drawn scrutiny. His mentor, Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady, suggested that Brown's frustration may stem from organizational details the public is unaware of within the Celtics system. This follows Brown's recent remarks to the coaching staff, where he questioned the team's trust in the style of play and referenced the upcoming season as the favorite year, comments widely interpreted as directed at the coaching staff and Jason Tatum. A reflection on the conclusion of the Boston Celtics season following a crushing loss, this piece delves into the emotional fallout and the difficulty of accepting an abrupt ending. The author compares the feeling to the silence of absence after a final bell, emphasizing that every team faces moments where the narrative concludes, leaving a void. The analysis scrutinizes the circumstances of the Celtics' 3-1 lead, noting their dominance over the Sixers before the final series outcome. The author argues that setting expectations too high, creating a storybook narrative, proved dangerous, comparing the season's conclusion to a Cinderella story where the prince ultimately moves on. While acknowledging fan disappointment, The piece cautions against immediate, drastic measures, such as trading players or firing the coach. Instead, the author draws a historical parallel to Dennis Johnson's career, suggesting that teams can recover from slumps with patience and trust in the coaching staff and players to adapt. The concluding sentiment is that while summer adjustments may be necessary, major personnel changes are unwarranted, emphasizing that better times are yet to come. The conclusion of the 2025-2026 Celtics season has left a palpable sense of absence among fans, reflecting the common, yet difficult, experience of postseason ends. The author reflects on the abrupt conclusion of the season, noting that while narratives often fit best in hindsight, the Celtics' run was perceived as a premature and cruel storybook ending. The season saw Boston build a 3-1 lead, including dominant victories over the Sixers, which created high expectations. Despite the narrative, the author argues against immediate, drastic calls for changes, such as trading Jaylen Brown or firing coach Joe Mazzulla. The author suggests that focusing solely on losses against the Philadelphia 76ers overlooks the context, pointing out that Boston finished the series with a significant point differential. The failure against Philadelphia is attributed to the coaching staff and players' inability to adapt to the return of Embiid. However, the author cautions against overreaction, drawing a parallel to Dennis Johnson's career, noting that even significant dips can be overcome with resilience. Ultimately, the author advocates for patience, suggesting that while some personnel tweaks over the summer may be necessary, major changes are unwarranted. The sentiment is that the team should be trusted to respond appropriately, and better times are anticipated for the franchise moving forward. The Boston Celtics are facing a significant rebuilding period following a disappointing first-round playoff exit, despite securing the second seed in the Eastern Conference. The team's struggles culminated in 3 consecutive losses, with a troubling pattern of 4 of their 5 recent postseason defeats occurring at the TD Garden, marking a concerning trend in home court performance. Former Celtics champion Kendrick Perkins voiced strong criticism regarding the team's performance against the Philadelphia 76ers, specifically targeting a perceived lack of tactical adjustments. Perkins highlighted the team's reliance on three-point shooting, suggesting they should have utilized drives and increased pressure on officials. He emphasized the issue of home court vulnerability, noting that the team lost 3 home games in the Garden, which Perkins described as a once sacred venue. Perkins also addressed comments made by Jaylen Brown regarding game officials, stating that the focus should not be on an alleged agenda, but on accountability. Perkins insisted that the team, from coaches to players, needed to take ownership of the loss and cease making excuses. This scrutiny follows a recent fine levied by the NBA against Jaylen Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reported that the league fined Brown $50,000 for comments made during a live stream criticizing the game officials after the first-round series loss against the 76ers. Brown had suggested that officials had an agenda claiming certain referees were unfairly targeting Boston. Collectively, Perkins' critique focused on accountability and execution, contrasting sharply with Brown's public commentary. The Celtics now face the task of improving their current roster, as the team looks toward making a stronger run in the upcoming season, despite the sting of losing a series while holding a 3-point lead.